Hello all, Olu here. Today we'll be taking a look at the Deenkee DK700 robot vacuum. It is a very sleek and low profile looking vacuum that's packed with a lot of features. Let's start with the packaging. The vacuum package comes with the vacuum itself, a charging base to charge the vacuum, a remote control that requires two AAA batteries, a cleaning tool to clean the brushes, 4 brushes, but you only need 2, so the other 2 are extra, an extra filter, and the manual. I've had this vacuum going to about a month now, but I actually rarely use it. In fact, I prefer to use my handheld vacuum. A little more on that later. Let's talk about its features. In the front, it has a bumper that prevents the vacuum from scuffing any surfaces. It also has a sensor that helps it detect when objects are ahead of it. The vacuum itself is 2.8 inches thick, so this is a good thing to keep in mind when purchasing if you plan on using it under your furnitures. On top, we're presented with a Wi-Fi indicator that tells us when the vacuum is connected to the Wi-Fi, and a power button that takes the vacuum out of standby. It has a dust box compartment that has a space of about 600 milliliters and very easy to clean. Those are your cleaning instructions, and inside of there is the filter. On the bottom, it has a universal wheel that helps support the vacuum whatever direction it turns, side brushes that help pick up dirt, and a battery cover which contains a 2500 milliamp battery that should give you about 90 minutes of cleaning time before needing to recharge. It has 2 big wheels to help it traverse 2 different surfaces, and a rolling brush to help pick up dirt. On the remote, we have a button for a smart cleaner mode that allows the robot to clean in a straight pattern. This is most likely the mode you will use the most as it requires less control and effort. It has directional buttons that helps it move forward, left, right, and backwards. The suction change button changes the suction force of the vacuum. The button next to it is used to change the clock settings. This button activates a mopping mode which allows the vacuum to pick up water off the floor, but you would have to buy an extra attachment that allows the vacuum to mop. This button is used to set a cleaning schedule, which allows the vacuum to start at the time of your designation. This button is used to call the robot back to its charging base. This button allows the robot to go into room cleaner mode, which in my experience is the best mode as it cleans a lot better than the rest. The edge cleaner mode helps you to vacuum the very edges of your rug that normal vacuuming wouldn't get. My biggest issue with the smart cleaner mode is that it tends to miss some spots that it should not. It goes in a straight line, but rarely does it complete that line before going on to the next one. The following clip is a good example of that. You see, it goes in a straight line that stops right in the middle and then goes on to the next line rather than finishing that line. And it just repeats the same pattern all the time. And for this very reason, I rarely use the smart cleaner mode. The mode that I prefer is the room cleaner mode. This is because it cleans a lot more completely than the smart cleaner mode. It focuses on one room, and most of the time it cleans spots that the smart cleaner mode will never get to. It does a pretty good job of returning back the base. I think the way it works is that the charging base emits a signal and the vacuum tries to pick that up and follow that signal, and I've never really had much problem with it returning back to base.
Yes.
The sensors at the bottom of the vacuum do a very good job of preventing it from falling from very high places. There is an app that allows you to control the vacuum, but I never use this app as there seems to be a lag whenever I try to control it. I find the remote a lot more convenient as it has every control you need in front of you and you don't need to navigate through an app. It also doesn't seem to have any lag as the app does. Overall, this is a solid vacuum for anyone who doesn't have much dirt around. It is a great way for pet owners to keep the floor clean from their pet's hair. I use it occasionally to sweep around to get my dog's hair, but I still use my handheld vacuum most of the time as it has more suction and I can be sure that I clean everywhere in the house that I wanted to. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe as this video will help in your purchase decision. Have a nice day and peace.